Good morning and welcome to another one of my bite-sized videos in the Explain series. I'm Brian Pollard, aka F1 Pit Pass, so let's get started. Today we're looking at leads, the various sizes, uses in carp fishing. Why do we need a lead? It's to enable us to cast out to a spot out in the lake, and when the bait is cast to that spot, it'll stay there that is, it'll stay in position when we tighten up our line between the end of the rod and the lead. This is for bite indication. If we have a slack line, then you risk having a carp run with a hook in its mouth into a snag or somewhere you don't want it to be. So I prefer a tight line to any bait, and that leads me to use leads round about 2.5 to 3 ounces. My chosen method for most times of the year is to have a ledger set up where the lead is on the lake bed and the line runs through the eye of the lead up vertically to the surface or just below the surface, or occasionally mid-lake depth. How do I choose a lead? Well, I'm lucky enough to have a good friend that makes me suitable leads, 2.5 to 3 ounces. You notice how they come in various colours and forms. A particularly useful form, a gripper lead, if you were going to be tightening up and the sheer weight of the lead might not hold station. If there's a buoyant bait at the surface, the line vertically down to this lead is putting quite a strain on the holding capacity of the lead. So a gripper lead can have quite a lot of benefits. Different textures, matching different lake conditions. If you're on the surface, then that texture isn't really important, but if you are at the lake bed fishing, then matching it to the lake bed conditions can give you that edge. I'll talk about this one which has no attachments, obviously, but there's a hole right through it. Your line goes through this, and it's an inline lead. It's not for me, not my type of fishing, but I just thought I would show it. I would go for a typical pear lead. It casts out really well. so it must be quite aerodynamic, and it holds the lake bed when I tension up against buoyant baits. After casting one of these a couple of times out in the lake, you get muscle memory, you get your eye in, and you can hit spots accurately. So all you have to decide is the weight of the lead. Each time you change weight of the lead, you have to train those muscles or get your eye in afresh. It's a whole different ball game of casting a lighter lead compared to a slightly heavier lead. And when accuracy is paramount, i.e. hitting a spot, hitting a far margin, you really do need to get your eye in. Go to the extremes of leads. The small, what look like very aerodynamic leads, don't have a lot of use in my fishing. And then there's the extreme. This is really casting to the horizon type of lead. Again, not my type of fishing. One lead I came across when I retrieved my line one day was this link that somebody had lost in the lake. It's attached to a rig setup which has a drop-off facility. If this lead were to get snagged, the idea is the carp wouldn't be carrying this around. The lead would pull against this clip, come loose and free the carp. The downside of this particular person's setup was I got all his line back, all his braid should I say, which ends with a loop, and that tells me that the connection between his main line and this loop is what broke on that day. So time for him, the angler who lost this gear, to rethink the knot and maybe revisit my videos to tie a better knot. So I hope you've got a quick understanding of the type of leads and the uses for them within carp fishing. If you've enjoyed this bite-sized video, join me again soon for another one. Thanks for watching.